Welcome to Exception Ally, your solution for navigating the IEP process so your child gets the education they deserve. This parent support tool leads you through an in-depth interview in order to learn about you and your child's journey. This allows us to create a personalized action plan just for you. We'll take a peek at a sample plan in a minute. After your secure registration, you'll begin a unique secure profile for your son or daughter. Choose the exceptionality that impacts your child the most. Later, you'll have a chance to return to this spot and learn about any other exceptionalities that also impact your child. Enter a couple more pieces of information and you're on your way. First, start with goals. No IEP is complete without relevant, individualized goals. Our exceptionality experts created these potential goals specific to your child's exceptionality. Before you'll see the goals themselves, you'll tell us about your child's current abilities and strengths. For each item, you'll answer, how often does your child do the following in a typical 2-week period? If the ability described is too simple, too advanced, or simply doesn't apply to your child, click NA. After the goals portion, you'll share about some of your child's past accommodations. This lets us know what has or hasn't benefited your child at school so far. For each of the most frequently implemented IEP accommodations, you'll note whether your child has experienced this in the last 2 years or not. If yes, share the overall impact as you saw it. Next, it's time to look forward with future accommodations. Our exceptionality experts have collected lots of potential accommodations for your consideration, specifically suited for each exceptionality. Exception Ally also offers you more information about these supports. Click the More Info button to read what this accommodation is and how it could impact your child. Click the Add Note button to record a personal note that explains why you'd like to try the support. Click the feasibility score to see how a school or district may respond to this request. Selecting student support should always be based on what's best for the child, yet other factors can impact a team's decision-making on how best is defined. The EA feasibility score gives you insight into what is required for a school or district to implement an accommodation. Each Exception Ally feasibility score is made up of 3 components. Cost, roughly how much does this support cost a school or district? Skill, how much specialized skill is needed to implement this support? And time, how much teacher time will this support require in a typical week? Each score is based on a 1 to 4 scale. 1 means a heavier burden for a school district, and 4 means a very light burden. The higher the feasibility score, the easier it is for a school to include this support in your child's IEP. Finally, it's time to share some of your personal parent journey. What have you experienced already? What would you like to learn about special education? How have you felt going through this process so far? These questions guide Exception Ally to create step 1 of your action plan. Speaking of which, let's look at an action plan now. Before we do, you'll prioritize 5 goals and 5 accommodations for your action plan. I know it's tough to decide, but being thoughtful about what you pick here will make the IEP meeting much more successful. After you've selected your top goals and accommodations, it's time to get your action plan. Exception Ally sends it directly to your inbox. Your plan has 3 steps. Step 1, Learn, is a selection of articles picked and prioritized just for you. From general IEP best practices to exceptionality-specific knowledge, Step 1 is full of the info you need to thrive in the IEP process. That brings us to Step 2, Prepare. Here, your prioritized goals and parent notes are organized for your benefit. Take time to read through them and practice sharing them with the team. Take notes to remind yourself why these are important to you. You can take Step 2 with you into the meeting. Finally, Step 3, Share. Exception Ally creates a letter for you to send ahead to your child's IEP team. It features your top 5 potential goals and accommodations so that they'll know in advance what you're thinking about and what you'd like to discuss. It sends a clear signal that you want to collaborate and you have given this IEP a lot of thought. With your action plan in place, you're more prepared than ever for your child's next IEP meeting. You're not alone in this process with an ally at your side. Why wait? Start your personalized action plan today. Exception Ally, special needs, extraordinary solutions.